What is phosphorus? Phosphorus is a chemical element found on Earth when often found in a variety of compounds such as water, soil, and sediments. Phosphorus does not enter the atmosphere and is most commonly found in the nutrients of soil or in rocks.
What state of matter is phosphorus? Phosphorus is mainly known as a solid, but there are different types of phosphorus that has different states of matter. White phosphorus, for example, is a white, waxy feeling solid. The white phosphorus is highly flammable when it is exposed to the air and is very deadly. Then red and black phosphorus is a powder-like substance. Phosphorus at room temperature is mainly a liquid, but it can never be a gas due to it being a liquid at room temperature.
The Phosphorus Cycle. When raining, phosphorus is released in salt form from the weathering of rocks as the rocks crack and decay. The phosphorus then enters the soil. Producers, such as flowers, absorb the phosphorus in the soil through their roots. Phosphorus is then consumed by plant-eating organisms or animals. The phosphorus makes its way up the food chain as plant-eating organisms are eaten by other animals. An example of this is the phosphorus spreading from a leaf to a snail to a frog. Through the food chain, the phosphorus is passed along. Those animals then may pass away, and decomposers obtain phosphorus as they feed on the dead remains, which still contains phosphorus. The cycle continues on.
Phosphorus impacts lives through numerous ways. A biological activity dealing with phosphorus is when animals eat plants that consume phosphorus. Then the animals that have the phosphorus in their systems die, and then the decomposers eat the animal and plant waste. Therefore, those creatures then have phosphorus within them, so the cycle continues. Mining and fertilization are human activities involving phosphorus. Mining is when humans harvest phosphate, then put that phosphate into fertilizer, which causes problems. Some phosphorus fertilizers can infect water systems. And a geological activity dealing with phosphorus is when rocks get uplifted and put back into the environment.
Problems caused by phosphorus. Phosphorus can cause many different issues due to human actions. One example of this is watering your lawn with fertilizer. Some fertilizer can be detrimental towards plants and animals. Putting fertilizer on grass can run into a water system when it rains. It then starts producing algae in the water systems. After a while, the buildup becomes so thick that it does not allow sunlight to get to the plants and animals underneath the algae, in turn causing plants and animals to die.
Laundry detergent / fertilizer dead zone. When phosphates go into the water, algal blooms develop. Algal blooms are a large, gathered mass of algae due to extreme growth of algae from the fertilizer. This causes a dead zone in the water called eutrophication, which blocks the sunlight entrance, making it hard for oxygen to still exist in the water, meaning that animals and plants cannot survive in the dead zone. The algae die in the process, and bacteria eats the dead algae. But to process the algae, the bacteria uses oxygen in the water, proceeding to leave the water almost oxygenless. Any organisms remaining will die from a lack of oxygen. Laundry detergent runoff and fertilizer runoff are both a big part of why these dead zones appear in bodies of water. Almost all fertilizers contain phosphates. Humans can help reduce the amount of eutrophication happening in ponds and lakes by being selective with the kinds of detergents and fertilizers consumers use and try to pick the ones that are best for the environment.
Life wouldn't be possible without phosphorus because it forms the fundamental components of genes, the DNA and RNA structure, which determines what humans and other organisms are. Phosphates are one of 3 parts of a nucleotide, which end up making the backbone of DNA and RNA. Phosphorus is also a major part of creating ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is a principal chemical compound that cells use to store and release energy. Without ATP, cells would not be able to store energy, deterring them from continuing on with their normal lives. This will not allow them to do anything. Additionally, phosphorus makes up 80 to 85% of bones found in the human body, so without it, the body's skeletal system wouldn't be able to function properly.
In conclusion, phosphorus is a controversial subject, seeing that in one way it is needed in living things' bodies to help produce ATP, which gives off energy, but on the other hand, it can be very detrimental to the environment. And remember, phosphorus is found in rocks and slowly by rain changes into a liquid state of matter. Phosphorus is then transferred into plants and soil, which animals and other living things absorb to help create ATP. Watch the kinds of detergents you buy because you could help waterways be phosphorus-free and full of oxygen for aquatic organisms. Phosphorus is a key component to life, and without it, we would not have the correctly functioning skeletal system that we do, and would not have enough energy to survive. Hopefully this presentation showed you the pros and cons of phosphorus as it has both. Thanks for watching.